some of the board members of this AI Advisory Council, and may I request the video to be played now.
Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Maya Indira Ganesh and I work at the Leverhulme Center for the Future of Intelligence at the University of Cambridge. Humans are social creatures, each one unique, and we draw and build on the legacies of practice, knowledge, and culture from the world around us. There's always someone in every field who does break from the norm and who does something that we think of as original, but they are also building on the shoulders of others and drawing from the world around them. It is the striving to be original that is human. AI, on the other hand, just always only wants to be correct.
This is Neeraj Nirmal. I'm a technology professional with over 8 years of experience working with big tech companies like Microsoft and Amazon. Currently, as a senior technical program manager at Amazon Artificial General Intelligence, I support the development of AI models for the company. These include speech and audio models for products like Alexa. When a singer quivers or takes an intentional or unintentional pause, it is the weight of vulnerability, the culture of connection, or even the memory of the singer themselves. Newer models can take multimodal inputs, but they don't feel the connection or memory. While these models are brilliant imitators, they lack the originality of humans, which continue to be our edge. While I say this, human originality has helped us leapfrog social and biological evolution, but still a large portion of our human skill force is compounded repetitive tasks, including even some of our largest employers like agriculture. I leave you with a question. This is more of a social science question. What happens when these tasks are replaced by technology?
My name is Manshu. I'm the Global CEO for Six Factor Consulting. We work with data and information to help clients take better decisions. Keeping this in mind, I think we start thinking of this as a tool. We have a tremendous opportunity to leverage on, as Indians and as India, the agile innovation mindset that we have. If we just leverage that to create the new solutions that are needed on the back of AI.
Hello everyone, I'm Vivek Garotra. I'm the co-founder of Sentisum, which is an AI native company that in the voice of consumer space is aiming to reshape industry. This question is truly fascinating and has some, and I'm particularly going to focus on corporations and society because that's the vantage point I see when I'm operating in the front lines of AI and the role I do in the work we're doing. What I'm seeing is a growing chasm between what is possible on the front lines and what is actually happening in mid to large organizations who are still looking at this as just another technology, just another thing that they need to transform, adapt. However, the rules are fundamentally different. And it requires all of us to almost recondition ourselves, not anchor to old assumptions, but think about new assumptions that are needed on how you would adapt. And institutions like MICA, in my view, play a fundamental role because that sector itself is going to transform. Institutions like MICA have to transform themselves at pace, but then also play a critical role in bridging this chasm between what's possible and what large corporations and large employers and society need to do and get ready and adapt.
Hi, my name is Dawn Bloxwich and I'm a Senior Director of Responsible Development and Innovation at Google DeepMind. Originality is our superpower, but to dig a little bit deeper into what that means to me, I think humanity's superpower has always been and will continue to be the questions that we ask in order to gain that deeper understanding of who we are and the world and the universe that we live in. And that's where we see so many creative and new ideas being generated. I think it's going to be our ability to steer, guide, and explore the challenges that we want AI to solve, whether that's in climate or in health, or new ways to understand and educate ourselves about how the world works. And it's really my hope that it's our curiosity combined with our desire to improve and understand that will be central to how we use AI as a tool to drive forward the world in new and innovative ways.
Okay, on that note, let me, on my behalf, thank you all for coming, and we look forward to your support. Over to you, Jaya.
Thank you, Ram. Very nice. Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. They're all so committed. Let me tell you a small story. We did the first 3-hour meeting, okay? And the voices and the opinions, I mean, Suhan is here, like how animated were we, isn't it? So it was a very interesting, set of people, very committed, loving, and wanting to contribute to India, wanting to contribute to MICA. So I'm really grateful for them being here. I needed to add one small quote from Ganga. As you know, she is a part of our governing council, which is also on our AI advisory committee. So I'm going to quote her. So Ganga says, as a proud MICA alum, she is also from, I think the second, 2 batches junior to me, and now member of our governing council, who's seen the ad world meet B2B tech head on. I couldn't be prouder of our ambition with the newly constituted AI board. The Institute's vision goes beyond tech. It's about cementing MICA's legacy as the go-to place for strategic marketing, big ideas, and pure creativity. We are not just preparing our students and industry for the future, we are giving them the know-how how to build it. So thank you so much, Ganga, for your quote. And now, finally, I'd like to invite Shekhar. You know, you've been saying a lot, but we'd like to hear a little bit more about why MICA, how does this all fit in?
You're going to risk it?
A little bit. Right. Thank you so much.
Jaya, you're a brave woman. Okay, Tina, thanks a lot. Thanks for this opportunity. We've known each other for like.
It's all our pleasure. We're going to squeeze you.
No, that's fine. Squeeze me, you'll get more. I'm not sure what you'll get, but you'll get something. Let's just start with why AI. You said that. AI is the new power of the world. It's what's going to drive the world. We know that. There's enough being said about that. And currently, there are 3 nations that are standing ahead. With third, unfortunately, probably China, then the US, and then India. We could come out in front. We can come, so this is more a natural perspective, then I'll come back to creativity. We could come up in front, provided we all put our show, push it and not be so afraid of it. There's no reason to be afraid of it. The only thing to be afraid of AI is that the world will go ahead and we won't catch up. The time is now. AI, the people, really, Sam Altman and all my other friends there, they keep talking about $1 trillion. It's only there to scare us. If we could put a rover on Mars at less than the cost that Hollywood can make a film, we could go into those large language models. The LLMs are not as scary as they put it up. It's just, $1 trillion India can't addega, but $1 trillion dalna hi nahi padega. We are innovative enough. And you know what will help us to be innovative enough? AI itself, right? So the importance of AI is there. I mean, we're turning up, I'm on the board of Waves, and we're pushing AI. I run the Goa Film Festival. I'm starting an AI film part of it too. I think the best way to understand AI is to see what AI is not, because everybody says it's everything. And when I was a kid, lived in Delhi, we used to go to Simla, Mussoorie, and Barsat hoti thi, so there used to be all these waterfalls. And I was like 13, 14, and my mother used to hate me doing that. I used to run down the waterfall, jump from one boulder to another boulder to another boulder. And the first 2, 3 boulders are easy because you can jump to it, you can see it. But once you pick up momentum, you have to know which 3 boulders, 4 boulders, and you keep going. And I often wondered, because I could have fallen and slipped at any time. And then at the end of it, when I looked back and said, oh my God, I survived. I didn't die, I did it. And please somebody don't tell my mother I did this, it would go on. Question is, how did I do it? When I was doing it, when the momentum was so high, there was no way I could make a logical decision. There's no way. I can actually sit there. I wouldn't have the time because you're just jumping and jumping. We got into something called the zone. The zone was, what do we call it? It was the same as extreme sports, you know, when the extreme sports is the zone. That zone, I still call it the zone of creativity. You're getting into a zone. But I did say I was going to say what AI can't do. I did it to get into the zone. What is the zone born of? It was born of fear. Creativity is full of fear. I would not be creative if I wasn't afraid. That zone was about thrill, about the near-death experience. I was challenging life. That zone is about challenging life. And now it's true. Elon Musk can put a little chip in my brain, and it'll tell me, go there, go there, go there. You picked up, this is your speed, you go there, go there, go there. AI will absolutely make sure that there is no potential possibility of me falling. AI can absolutely make sure that there's no possibility of my dying. AI can call my mom and say, don't worry about it, I'm taking care of your son. He'll be fine, he'll be fine. Here's the question. Then why would I do it? That's the problem. Being human is about being uncertain. Being human. I said, you know, she loves me not, she loves me not. If the answer is she loves me, she loves me, she loves me, she loves me, I'm not being human, there's no love. AI, you know, being human is about being uncertain. Much as we draw big charts, you know, we do these 5-year plans because there's certainty, and then suddenly find it's not working. And AI will make sure now that it doesn't work because everything has changed. Everything has changed. Everything will change. So everything that is uncertain, everything that is unpredictable is what makes us human. We die. That's uncertain. I might die tomorrow, I don't know. So that's what drives us. And whatever is human, what drove me down is exactly, and the reason it did is what AI can't do. So as long as we remember what it means to be human, we'll remember what AI can't do. So, now let me talk about creativity. It's very simple and very simple. I work with some of the great geniuses of the world. What is creativity? It's a big question. And when you called me here to talk about and teach creativity, I would have called it unlearn, learn, unlearn, learn, unlearn, learn. The most creative beings I've ever seen are kids. We are born creative. How can you teach creativity? What's going wrong with us? You watch a child and give a child crayon, and my daughter used to cut up all the curtains in patterns. We are born incredibly creative people, and somewhere our education system has taught us not to be creative. And where did this education system come from? It actually came into what we call, you know, the old Gurukuls work like that. We've developed a linear form of education system that actually came from the West. It really helped us, yes, but it's time to let that go. It's time to let that education system go and come into what I call quantum education. I'm going to say, Abhishek is using a big word. Quantum education is very big. That's nothing. Mahabharata is quantum storytelling. Mahabharata is going linear, yeah, then the story moves around, comes back, something else happens, and moves around, comes back, something else happens. It's unpredictable. You're going to have things and take out things, and then you'll come back to the same thing. I think I mentioned cave 16, right? The Shiva cave. How did I do it? Right? And why am I saying this? I'm saying this because as a culture, we're quantum thinkers. सीधा तो कोई सोचता ही नहीं यार, है ना? कौन ऐसे करता है? Everybody's thinking, अरे ये क्या बात कर रहा है? मुझे समझ नहीं आ रही, ये क्या बात कर रहा है? मुझे क्या कर रहा है? मुझे समझ में आ रही, कुछ बात कर रहा है. Activity. The unpredictability of conversation is creative. So, however much we teaching creativity is about teaching to be unpredictable. How can I teach you to be unpredictable? Well, you can by letting you free. Teaching about creativity is the teaching of the freedom of the mind. That's what's amazing. And that's why India has this great opportunity, because as quantum thinkers, quantum thought, as being unpredictable as we are, kya baat kar raha hai, kaise baat kar raha hai, you know, I have a big friend who's doing really well. He's formed a huge company in the US. And when I talked to his investors, he said, we don't know what he's saying, yes or no. He keeps doing this, right? That's unpredictability. That's very, very creative. So let's just imagine the school being creative. Question is, where does creativity come from? Raise anybody in this room that knows where creativity comes from. So come on, let's be brave. I'm not going to put you on the dock. One person who can say, I know where creativity comes from. I just wrote on my LinkedIn today that actually it comes not from the brain, it comes from the heart. Yeah. And a lot of neuroscientists disagreeing with me, but that's, I believe. But if I don't know where creativity comes from, how can I teach it? Problem, right? How do you teach it? I can teach it by teaching you everything that creativity find yourself. Yeah, what to Sadhguru be not knowing, the unpredictability and not knowing. How do I teach you not to know? Because anybody sitting in the room probably has gone through years and years of being told that you have to know, you have to know, you have to know, and suddenly guys coming and say, let me teach you not to know. It's a large part of creativity, and therefore the teaching of creativity to me is to help you let go of everything that you are. Because everything that you are has been accumulated and accumulated upon you, and then you've defined yourself. By defining yourself, what you've done is confined yourself. So you have to let go of the idea of defining yourself. You have to let go of the idea of music. ये होता है. तो आप कहेंगे यार ये क्लासिकल सिंगर्स ना जो गाते हैं पूरी जिंदगी एक ही राग गाते हैं, है ना? They're becoming perfect and perfect and perfect. राग तो वही है, गाते रहते हैं सालों साल. What are they trying to do? What are these classical musicians trying to do? They're not trying to define the rag. They are trying to become the rag. That's where true creativity lies. When I become my story that I tell, in Bandit Queen, I was the rapist and the raped both. I have to be, otherwise I can't tell the story. So the final ultimate idea of creativity is to become the creativity, not the creator. But what you create and you become the same thing. If we can teach you to do that, you're all geniuses. That's where we belong, right? So I'm going to let that go. I think I've probably done 10 minutes. I'll take any questions. I don't promise I can have the answers, but I can tell you what the answer is not. Okay. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you so much. To conclude this part of the session before we get into Q&A, I just wanted to give a quick backstory, literally 30 seconds. So it was in May that I wrote a message, a text message to Mrs. AMBANI ma'am. And I said, there's this idea, we've said this in the entire course of developing the strategy with the governing council, with the faculty, with the alumni, because we did a lot of that in 24-25, that we want to do this school, okay, for applied creativity within the MICA umbrella. And this is what we want to teach. And I think we need to get a chief mentor. And do you think we could get Shekhar? And she sent me a text message saying, I'll try. And so that was sometime around the 4th of May. On 19th of May, she sent me a message back saying, I've established contact. And then she said, and to be here, in this. My message back. Yes. And his message, when I said, she said, over to you, and I asked, and he said, yes. And you said, how can I say no? Yes. Yes. And that was so beautiful. And to be here, everyone accuses me of getting very emotional because I do, given the fact that I'm a MICA and I'm a product of this school. And to have this absolute honor to be here with Kedar and my other icons on this day is just beautiful. So thank you so much. Thank you everyone. won't keep you long. So Setu, you could come with them off the stage, on the stage. We're going to do some Q&A. I invite Geeta to come onto the stage, please. Oh.
We getting another one? So, very, very big day for all of us. Congratulations to all of us. I can tell you as a faculty, being a part of MICA, this is so exciting. We are so, so excited. And we're absolutely happy to take questions from the press. Just a few things. We'd love to have questions about all the announcements made today. So if you have, and if you're keen to know more details about the School of Applied Creativity, happy to respond to that. The AI Advisory Board, happy to respond to that, because we've got literally the genesis, the shotra, the sotra. It started from here. We also have Dr. Hegde, who's put the pieces and the boards together. So we've got the structure there. Of course, Jaya's there. So any questions?
I come to know that what is School of Ideas. So before I ask something, you do something, with due respect to all of you. The thing is that everywhere the question is coming out about the AI, that is artificial intelligence. Now, when we were kids, we were given to understand we have come in this world. God has given us chance to come in this world. But now here the AI has come. First of all, I want to know who has made this word AI. Human being come, God has given us chance to come. But AI is made by these people only. Once the AI get recognition, we all human beings are finished now. There is no value for human being then. So what AI will do everything in this world, in this modern world, or is there any other chances where?
Lovely. So I'll take the question like this. आप ये जानना चाहते हैं that will AI take up everything, and or is there scope for something else? I think I'll rest it with Jaya because she's got both. Over to you, Jaya.
Can you hear me? So first question is who invented AI? Then there's an entire thesis or history of AI. You can even argue that AI was started like for 600 years ago, because we've always had this conception about automata. So if you look at all the history, we've always, as a human race, so even if you go back to the Mahabharata, we've always looked at, can there be some kind of automation to take away drudgery, or human work? The term itself is attributed to a summer at Dartmouth College, where there were these, scientists who came together, these data scientists and they said that they can solve how humans think or cognitive processing if they put in 3 months of work. But as you can see, the work is still going on. So Suhan, I was paying attention in class. So Suhan and myself, we are doing our masters at Cambridge in AI ethics and society. So we learn these things. So I hope that answers your question as to who did it. And Shekhar, if you would like to.
सर मैं आपसे एक सवाल पूछना चाहता हूँ. पूछो. बुरा तो नहीं मानेंगे ना? आइडिया क्या होता है? चलिए मैं आपसे पूछता हूँ आइडिया क्या नहीं होता? A thought idea क्रिएटिव हो गया ना, तो स्कूल ऑफ आइडिया, स्कूल ऑफ क्रिएटिविटी एक चीज हो गई. बच्चों को आइडिया आता है तो आइडिया आप एक्सप्रेस करते हो. हमारा काम ये है कि आपको जो आइडिया आए उसको एक्सप्रेस करो. जब आइडिया को एक्सप्रेस करते हो तो वो क्रिएटिविटी हो जाता है. तो आइडिया इज एक्चुअली बेटर नेम फॉर क्रिएटिविटी. ओके, थैंक यू.
Any? Ji, yes, please. This is my turn.
हेलो, मेरा नाम रुखसेन उमरानी है, महाराष्ट्र जनसत से. टीना मैडम जो एआई जो सीआई जो आप जो प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस है इसमें, तो किस तरह वैल्यूज देखती है, किस तरह डिग्निफाइड देखती है, और जो कंसर्न एनवायरमेंट सोसाइटी को किस तरह देखती है?
आप एक बार अपना क्वेश्चन
आपका क्वेश्चन समझिए.
एग्जैक्टली.
हाँ मैडम, अभी जो एआई जो आपने किया, ये जो प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस है, तो ये सोसाइटी की तरफ किस तरह वैल्यूज और मिशन के लेके चलती है, किस तरह देखती है?
आप जनरल क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हैं कि माइका के बारे में पूछ रहे हैं? क्योंकि अगर माइका के बारे में पूछेंगे तो आई थिंक आई एम सिटिंग विद द बेस्ट प्रोफेशनल्स एंड एक्सपर्ट्स. आई एम अ प्रमोटर, आई एम अ चेयरपर्सन, बट माय अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ व्हाट दे डू एंड व्हाट दे टीच कम है. I'm not an educationist, but I feel very privileged and fortunate to be heading this institution because it's always good to work with very good quality professionals. तो आप माइका के बारे में बोलेंगे तो मैं ये जवाब दे रही हूँ.
Jim, you'd like to add to it?
I'll add one more thing. जब मैंने ये position accept की तो I did mention to my husband that you want me to do this, but मेरे में इन चीज़ों के लिए कोई समझ नहीं है. I have never done this work before, and he said, no, you start, you can get the best people. And then I realized कि एक दिन my father-in-law had said to me when I was going to start some work in Ahmedabad in our textile division, and he said, you know, you've got very good taste, you should learn to go and design and things like that over there. And I said, I've never done it, Papa. And he said, you know what? You have to work with the best professionals, hire the best professionals, and you will be able to get to where you want to be. So I think it's very important that people are well versed with the subject, run the subject, and do what they have to do.
If you can hear me, can everyone hear me?
Geeta, Jaya, we recording. Yeah.
So आपने जो क्वेश्चन पूछा वो बराबर है. मराठीत बोलू का? That is better. तर आपल्याला असं वाटतं की एआय येईल आणि सोसायटीमध्ये काय होईल, सोसायटी डिस्टर्ब होईल का, आपल्याला जे वाटतं आपल्या स्वतःच्या बद्दल ते काहीतरी बदलेल का? पण असं नाहीये. ऍक्च्युअली काय होईल की आपल्याला हा विचार करावा लागेल की आपण आहोत कोण, आणि आपल्याला मजा कशात येते, आपल्याला स्वतःची व्हॅल्यू कुठे दिसते, आपल्याला त्याच्याबद्दल खूप विचार करावा लागेल. आणि एज्युकेशन प्लेज अ व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट रोल टू शो दॅट मिरर की आपण आहोत काय आणि आपल्यात काय केपेबिलिटी आहे. राईट. सो टू व्हेरी क्विकली ट्रान्सलेट अगेन टू हिंदी और इंग्लिश, व्हॉट यू नो व्हॉट. येस,
तेच आपण बघतोय की हे जे AI आहे, जे MCI तुम्ही डायरेक्टर आहात, की इथिक्स घेऊन काय एक म्हणजे लिडरशिप तयार करण्यासाठी काय योजना करणार आहे, फ्युचरमध्ये तुमची योजना आहे?
हो हो. सो जसं फॉर एक्झाम्पल आमच्या ह्याच्यात एक स्पेशलायझेशन आहे कॉल्ड डेटा सायन्स अँड AI. तर यू वुड एक्सपेक्ट की हे शिकवताना वी विल हॅव अ व्हेरी टेक्निकल व्ह्यू की आम्ही डेटा सायन्समध्ये LLM शिकावू, मशीन लर्निंग शिकावू. ऑफकोर्स आम्ही हे शिकवतोच, पण त्याच्या आधी आम्ही म्हणजे आम्ही एक क्रेडिट म्हणतो म्हणजे 10 तास आम्ही AI फिलॉसॉफी शिकवतो. आणि त्या AI फिलॉसॉफीमध्ये हे शिकवतो की अकाउंटेबिलिटी म्हणजे काय, राईट. रिस्पॉन्सिबल एआय म्हणजे काय, एक व्हॅल्यू जजमेंट म्हणजे काय, कारण की फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम इन द हिस्ट्री ऑफ मॅनकाइंड आपण जजमेंट किंवा कॉग्निटिव्ह डिसिजन मेकिंग वी आर आउटसोर्सिंग टू अ मशीन. तर आपल्यातनं काढून, माणसातनं काढून आपण मशीनमध्ये टाकतो. तर हे आपण कधीच पहिले केलं नाही की तुम्ही असं जज करा की हे बरोबर आहे की नाही, हे आपण माणसातच ठेवलं ना, आपण कधी मशीनमध्ये नाही टाकलं. पण आता आपण तसं करतोय. तर कसं करायचं, हाऊ डू यू ट्रान्सलेट इट सो दॅट द मशीन बिकम्स मॉरली एथिकली करेक्ट. आणि ते आम्ही शिकवतो बिफोर वी टीच मशीन लर्निंग, डीप लर्निंग, न्यूरल नेटवर्क्स.
Thank you. Yes, please. Yeah. Yeah, I see you. Can we pass the mic to the lady?
Ma'am, this is Mandana from India. Sorry, I got late before. So I wanted to know, like AI, you all will teach, of course. But the thing is, will it make the humankind more lazy and everything will be dependent on machines itself? And the thinking also of the people, like they will depend on machine. So it has an advantage and disadvantage also. So can you elaborate a bit, like will it affect the human this thing functioning? Because everything will depend on AI, thinking will power also. Now all majority people we think and then we do. So
I'm going to ask Ram and Shekhar.
Yes, absolutely.
I think if you look at the history of technology, a lot of these technologies have enabled human beings to do better. But with AI, it's fundamentally going to drive a non-linear way of thinking in the marketplace. See, historically, if you look at whether it's electricity or whether it's police and many of those, they have only enhanced what a muscle or a human body could do. Whereas with AI, your brain power is going to be amplified and extended because the way you think will actually get further augmented. So there are certain types of jobs that could potentially go away. Fine, but then there are new higher order jobs that would actually come your way because of the augmentation of your critical thinking. These are not the jobs that we can even potentially think of today, but these are jobs that we will eventually create. Second, AI will challenge the notion of what jobs are, what work is, and some of the structures in which we have actually operated till date. A job is usually seen as in a traditional sense, as a profession, as a trade. Now, some of these will even go away from the lexicon, because individuals will potentially become creators of job on the fly. I'll give you an example. I think it was said by Shekhar in the previous interaction. 2 or 3 weeks back, we realized that Meta had made an offer to an individual with a signing on bonus of $100 million. Can you imagine an individual being paid $100 million as signing on bonus? We have never heard. Find the wealthiest lady in UK probably gets paid more than what Tim Cook of Apple gets paid. So when individuals can probably think beyond the boundaries of thinking, I'm getting a little philosophical, fine, but it is going to extend and amplify brain power to a point where you can create newer opportunities in the market. I'm consciously not calling them jobs, fine, and it's only going to enhance, amplify, extend the human brain power. I get a feeling that the level of entrepreneurship in countries that adopt AI will go up exponentially, and the traditional models of employment will actually disappear. We are in the thick of it, and therefore we don't realize it, but once you step back, you will see what's happening around us.
While you were talking, I was watching, there was outside, there's a guy, वो पीछे देखेगा, पर मत देखो, बेचारा पैरिस हो जाएगा। वो खाने के, he's laying the table. That's his job, right? Ask him if he enjoys his job. His answer will be no. Ask him if he wants to do a more interesting job. His answer will be yes. I was sitting with the CEO of one of the world's largest corporation. He was saying the same things. What will happen to jobs? He runs Ant Corporation. तो मैंने कहा देख, we're sitting here for breakfast. वो एक औरत है, उसकी उम्र होगी, must be 40-45. She's cleaning, and all she's doing is waiting for us to leave so that she can finish her job. तो मैंने कहा देखो Chen, is she enjoying her job? And the answer was, of course she's not. I said, you've just talked about 90% of the people that we prescribe. ये आपकी job है, ये करो. AI will relieve that. AI will let go of the person that's doing a job that they don't like and go home or something and discover what they are. They discover their own potential. So I said, Jen, your job's the problem. You should watch out for your job because they won't want to work for you anymore because you give them jobs that they don't want to do because job to karni hai na. AI will give them more potential. I told you, my cook, he's a Nilesh tu hai yahan, khada ho ja. My attendant. He wrote the best thing for Mr. India too. अरे निलेश कहाँ नहीं है वो आ गया उसको पता है मैं I will always call him because he did do that. So everybody, every human being will now through AI, when they have access to it, find what they are most creative at, find what they are best at. तुम कम छोड़ दो ये job, the job नहीं है. कोई CEOs better worry about their jobs because nobody will want to work for them now if it's a job, right? Okay, thank you.
Hi, so we have a few journalists who are witnessing this virtually throughout the country. So we have a couple of questions from them. I think many of them have already been answered. So I'll just ask a couple which, which I think are still left to be, or there's more to add. So I think one question was, how is this course designed to provide career boost for students, who are interested in AI? I think many ways it has been answered, but if anything, Jaya ma'am or anybody else would like to add.
Yes, I'll invite the dean and Agla either.
To add on to whatever was said, the thing is that what we do in the program or the course, when you come in, we essentially talk about the tools that they can use. And I think so much is spoken about whether AI will take over the human job. No, because the tools are the ones, and how the tools can be used by the students is something that by these students who will get into work, that would be more important, and that's what we teach or we try to inculcate. And as Shekhar always says, the unknown is what is to be spoken about or to be seen. But what in the second year is in the second year of the students, they will learn more about philosophy. Thinkers, there are many thinkers who think about AI and what the society and how the society will react. And I think this is something which no other institution talks about, the philosophy of AI, the social aspects in AI. Thinkers like Harari, who've spoken a lot about economics and how financial matters and what happens to the world with AI. Now we don't really tell them we kind of analyze all these thinkers and put a thought or the curiosity in the mind of these students to really think about how AI will affect and what's the human aspect and social aspect which will actually get affected by AI. So in the second year of the course, they are much more deeper into thinking, curiosity, and what will happen next. So the tools are all there, the thinking bit is there, and then the creativity and what you will do next. So it's kind of a different model which we really get them to do. While other business schools, essentially, you may say school and compete with some of the business schools, they talk about using the tools, but for us, in our pedagogy, using the tool comes first and basic. And we know that the students are out there, the younger generation, have already done that in many places. So this is how we add on. Yes. And adding to it, we do have immersions where the students will be, and in the second year, which again is very, very distinct to MICA, we have many industries associated with us. We have identified the 150 go-to industry companies that we would want to work with. And more often than not, even the companies say that we don't know how AI is going to work and pan out and what is going to happen. So they give us the problem of, we are in collaboration with the companies, we are getting problem statements from them, and they would and work with the students together. So that is an immersive work that we're doing, and we also have the industry folks coming and teaching us. This essentially is it. So this is how.
So, very interestingly, there's a question about what is the USP of this school, because, there is a global interest too, is how we understand it. So the question is that why do you think that, global students would also be interested? And I think you started to answer that already. So I think the part about understanding problem statements from, real industry, and then, how it is getting applied. So if anything you want to add to this, because that was the next and last question.
Maybe I'll request Jaya if you could add.
So one of the things that we've been doing, intensely is to not just focus on, what has been taught in the past, right? So we are actively looking at collaborations with other schools across the globe. Wait for it, there will be announcements that come soon. So we are looking at international collaborations with different schools. But you saw our AI advisory board. Our AI advisory board is made up of the biggest names in the business. They're not just here in India, but they're also in the UK, in the Middle East. So we are definitely looking at internationalization. But having said that, I just want to be very clear that our perspective is really Indian. Our perspective is really, the global south. And why I say that is there's a lot for us to contribute. So if you look at how AI is being developed in all the scholarship, it's very Euro-American. And it's really time that we are the second largest, second largest market in the world and the fourth largest economy. So if you're going to develop AI, it needs to be specific, to India as well. We need to be contributing to that scholarship. So while we do a lot of internationalization, we will put forward an India-centric approach, a global south approach, which is distinct to us. Now this is really interesting for the European world and the Western world. Even the Pacific or the Far East, it's an interesting thing for them to see as well, because we are an older civilization, we have got our own ways of doing things. Frugal AI being one of them, Jugaad being the other one, right? And we're also an extremely vibrant startup community. So there is a lot of interest to collaborate with India, and so I see a rich, interdisciplinary, global interaction that will take place.
To add, I think, taking cue from Shekhar was what he said, move from linear to quantum and the Indian type of education, and I think that's where the world is also looking towards. So,
what is the eligibility criteria?
So we have our management school, MICA, which is the School of Ideas. Under that umbrella, we have another school, which is the School of Applied Creativity. This would be a postgraduate. We have lots of programs, but the one that we are currently, going to open admissions, hopefully next month, end of August. You need to be a graduate, so it's a postgraduate program. The first one is in media, content, and entertainment. The eligibility is you need to be a graduate, and we will of course put everyone through MICAT, which is that your examination which sees whether you are creative. What we're really looking for are curious minds with an entrepreneurial mindset, and yeah, we're looking forward to getting our first batch.
Yes, and we'll put all of this on the website, so just follow our website. We'll put all eligibility criteria there. Announcing of admissions will also be like a big thing. Any other questions?
मैं एक्टर को क्यों लूँगा? मैं अपना एक्टर बनाऊँगा ना AI पे। मुझे क्या जरूरत है किसी एक्टर को लेना? वो 70% तो वो ले जाएंगे। मैं AI से कहूँगा कि ऐसा मुझे एक बहुत अच्छा खूबसूरत एक लड़की बना दो, एक बहुत खूबसूरत लड़का बना दो। फिर मैं देखता हूँ अच्छा ये ठीक नहीं है, वो ठीक नहीं है, फिर उस फेस को यूँ करना है, AI बना दूँगा। आप में कितने? You may know that 50% of all the influencers or those beautiful people, they're not real. They're AI created. So now we'll have movie stars that are AI created. आज मैं तो परसों नहीं कल आ रहे हो, मैं देख रहा हूँ सब कर रहे हैं. Music videos आ रहे हैं, they're AI created. Achha, how many people have met Tom Cruise in their life? Raise your hand. How do you know he's real? Why? Because you've seen him in movies, 2-dimensional. You've seen him in, giving interviews, 2-dimensional. Tom Cruise went to Wimbledon, 2-dimensional. After he came on. How do you know he's real? So in the world of AI, now we'll be creating my own movie stars, our own movie stars who'll go to Wimbledon. Who'll go to every premiere because I can do it. I can make it very real for you. So the question is wrong now. In the future, that's how much the world is changing. The tools of creating new people. अब हम महाभारत में कहते हैं AI कृष्ण किसने देखा है कृष्ण है ना हम तो बना रहे हैं ये कृष्ण right okay sorry I can go on with this thanks
So I think thank you everyone for your questions and thanks to the panel for the answers. Extremely insightful and I think it covers more and beyond what we thought it will. That's why we are heading towards the event now. So I think we can wrap up and leave all of us and maybe help.
Yes, thank you so much. So first, thank you, Meera, for all the interest you showed. It was you who got the show up. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Shekhar.